Yeah, I know this review is late. Sorry, it's just that I'm not a full-time reviewer. Not that I ever were it, but I'm just not a reviewer into the situation anymore. So do not expect chapters to come out immediately when they come out. But it had nothing to do with the chapter being bad or anything. Granted, it was extremely slow, which is so very uncharacteristic for Eden Zero. The pacing is slowing down considerably, and I do not really like that. Yes, it is me, the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, although I technically just review Eden Zero nowadays, as maybe that will be my final manga, who knows. And this was chapter 183, although it's been released for some time now. It is basically first the space battle, with everyone talking about how to regroup with Elsie, while Sista gives orders to Gene, Klein, and Laguna to team up with them so they will kill giants, meaning that they will handle Dead and Crow. And Hermito also says to Holy that she should join them by piloting a night gear, saying that the night gears of theirs are extremely high quality. Of course, Holy just smugly asks if she's really comfortable with wanting them to pilot an Eden Zero night gear. But then Hermito says that she's a member of the crew. Even though the Eden Zero crew may not completely trust her, she trusts Siggy's orders. Shiki's orders. And finally, she also shows that she is an ace by saying that she has done background check on Holy as well, since Holy had all that advantage of doing background checks on them. And according to her, she knows what the crow did to her and what he took from her, which changes the smug expression of Holy into shock. Which seems to imply that Hermito has some connection to that. I mean, not connection to her, but we all know that she suffered a humiliation and soul-breaking moment from a human. Although granted, this is the complete opposite. This time it seems that Dead and Crow did something humiliation and despairing to Holy, a human. The point is, they may have actually experienced something similar. Especially as it says, you can only conquer past humiliation by doing it yourself, which is a callback to when Hermito saw Muller again and managed to overcome him. With that, Holy agrees to help, saying that she will be happy to help. The space battle continues as everyone mows down the different bots. But then Rebecca, as it drives out, she once again has a space out moment. As much as she says that she's okay and that she's not trying to think about it, it's very, very, very clear that the thinking of saying that the chronophage is somehow connected to her is still lingering in her mind, especially as she says that where I go the chronophage follow, where I went. So she unfortunately spaces out and takes a hit that makes her unconscious, but Shiki thinks fast, leaves the shuttle, lets Pilo pilot it, and manages to get to the shuttle and rescue them both Happy and her, as well as landing over there. Where while Pino and Homer meets up with Wise, Shiki and Rebecca lands elsewhere, and Happy is also okay. So yeah, she is still spacing out over the fact that she may have actually been responsible for the chronophage. Given how empathic Rebecca is, that makes sense. But I think the connection to the chronophage is a little bit deeper than just correcting time. We'll see, I think. But then Elsie is not there. She has actually gone off on her own. And she is following a ground, saying that she knows Shiki's plan, but she must destroy Siggy herself, seeing that Siggy was the one who taught her many important things. It's ironic now that she has to kill him. But the biggest surprise, though, comes in this chapter, at least, is when she reaches, I don't know if it's the core or just one part of the city, but it's very reminiscent of a castle with large pipes in it, and a very familiar fountain. And when Elsie sees that flashback, it is actually revealed that Lendard is Elsie's home planet. Huh. She never once said that. She said her home planet was close by here. And when they said Leonard, she says, remember I came from Kai the Cosmos, remember. She never once said that was her home planet. So I wonder if this isn't a little bit of a what moment. However, it could just be that Elsie doesn't like to talk about her past, so of course she wouldn't reveal that Leonard is her home planet. But it will make sense why she actually reacted with a little bit more anger when she heard that Siggy was on Leonard. But the bigger thing is that why didn't she think that he would be here? But the counter argument to that could be because she actually says to Siggy that she has no affection for this lingering rock, meaning that she genuinely thought this planet was dead and could not be restarted. And when you want to leave something that you left behind a long time ago, then you willingly do block it out. So I guess it makes sense why she wouldn't say it. But then Siggy appears before her and saying that this kingdom was once preposterous. However, the humans' obsession with arms development corrupted this planet. And so he sarcastically welcomes her back home, calling her Princess Elsie Lendard, as we see a full view of Siggy. And I'm telling you, yeah, Siggy looks badass. As evil as he has become, he actually genuinely looks badass here. It's worth noting that his belts are exactly the same belts as Shiki wears. But he has black pants and, oh yeah, just to be sure, we actually finally see his feet. For the first time, his feet actually genuinely look good. So, as someone who hates humans now, Siggy just mocks the Kai the Cosmos, saying that their obsession with arms conquering became their undoing. But it's also revealed that Elsie is the reason why Leonard also suffered war, as Justice have said, and we finally get a clue on what Elsie did, somewhat. It is she did not like that her father and mother were so obsessed with arms development and gotten obsessed with it. So she actually told, she handed over the kingdom's secrets to other. She wanted her mother and father to stop their brutality, but in the end, not all she did, but unfortunately, handing over secrets to the kingdom only resulted in war. This is why Justice blames her. He blames her for starting the war, saying that he could have stopped it when he came of age, but it's very clear from this dialogue that no, even if he did become of age, he would never have been able to stop it. The Kai the Cosmos Lendard were obsessed with arms development, and Elsie, being just a little girl at that time, even though she was a little bit wise, believed that if everyone knew the same thing that they did, then they would be equal in that moment. I think at least that was her mind. But instead, Leonard attacked, or maybe the other kingdom attacked, because they felt threatened by each other. So what Elsie did wasn't dumb, it may have been a little naive, but it was idealistic as well. Maybe she believed that handing over the kingdom's secret to another would have actually stabilized someone. If someone knew what they knew, then they would have no reason to feel threatened by each other. Maybe that's why she felt. But unfortunately, that didn't be the case. A war broke out. It's not exactly known who started who, but Leonard was destroyed from that war. With that, she lost her princess title, and Justice blames her for that as well. So does that mean that Justice also lived in Leonard, and he also saw this? Surely he would have actually realized just how dangerous this thing was. All Elsie wanted to do was to stop her family. Unfortunately, she ended up losing her family. And so Siggy says that this planet is now a world of mechanical beings. And so Elsie says that she has no lingering affection for this wretched rock. Although, I wonder how it is. But she refuses to let him have it. And so Dark Siggy says that to think you will be our first sacrificial victim. This universe truly is fascinating. To further highlight his complete monster transformation. So yeah, this is basically this chapter. Nothing big in the development or thing. The only bigger thing that it reveals is, of course, that this was Elsie's home planet. That is basically the biggest thing that is revealed in this chapter. The rest of the things, nah, not so much. Rebecca still spaces out, and Holy is gonna join Team Sista in a night gear to fight against Dead End Crow. The fact that they're gonna fight in space fighters is a little bit dull. It makes me wonder. I really wanted to see their ether gears in action again, but it makes sense. Holy does have a grudge against Dead End Crow, so why not just use it here, even if that is a night gear of Eden Zero. And of course, as I said before, Elsie's reaction for doing all this, it's still not exactly 100% sure what she did. But it seems that in the end it was Lendard who got Lendard or something like that, who became obsessed with developing power, and Elsie got worried. So I genuinely believe that maybe she believed that spreading the kingdom's secret to another would have actually helped stabilize the threat that Lendard would pose to the Kaide Cosmos. But all it ended up causing was war, because maybe Leonard started it, or maybe the other one started it, or maybe they just felt like they just couldn't have one or the other. But I believe that Elsie in a way was correct. Justice accuses her for having taken everything away from him and destroying everything else. However, I believe that maybe if she didn't do this, maybe Lennart would have become the dominant force in the Kaide Cosmos. Because judging from the way Sieg has been developing a skeleton army, if this war did happen, Lennart would likely have conquered all of Kaide Cosmos. But we'll see, won't we? Give me your thoughts if you have any.